So I just want to do a quick guided tour through the Privacy Not Included page for Hinge. Privacy Not Included is a cool project from the Mozilla Foundation, nonprofit internet organization that's basically dedicated to a free and open internet. You might associate them to Mozilla Firefox, which is an internet browser that competes with Google Chrome and Apple's Safari browser. Mozilla is cool. I don't want to get too much into that because I just want to dive into talking about this. So Privacy Not Included is their reviews of products. They do both software and hardware. So, apps like Hinge or, Uber potentially. I'm not sure if they have one for that, but that's just an example. And then hardware, like if you have an Amazon Echo or like a Google Nest in your home and you're worried about it just recording your conversations, they probably have reviews of those as well. Also like smart devices, which are increasingly able to record different types of activity and potentially like sell your data. They do reviews of all this stuff. So it's all looking at these different products from a data privacy angle. And I found this website a few years ago, but I've been wanting to dig into it, and I thought other people might be interested as well, but it's just, sometimes it's like, I don't know, it feels a little bit daunting or tedious to look through stuff like this, so I thought maybe a video might make it more approachable and fun. So here we go. We have a little intro. Okay, Hinge helped Pete Buttigieg meet his husband, so maybe it is helpful. This intro doesn't really matter. Okay, more kind of intro, talking about internet memes. Let's get into the juicy bits. So they're starting, I guess I should just set this up. We're starting here from the kind of, with throwing out a few important questions and premises. Like, Hinge's motto is designed to be deleted. My thought is always that sounds like BS, because what business wants you to stop using their service? Then they can't make money off of you. So that sounds pretty fishy from the get-go. So I think they're tossing out the question, is that really true, or is that just a marketing ploy? And then they're kind of asking this question, well, yeah, what could go wrong if, the data from this company that they're collecting from their users, that they're collecting when you write your profile and try to attract people by being your cute, sexy, unique self. What happens? What are the potential downsides if that data is misused? So here they start with this FTC petition against Match Group. Match Group owns Hinge as well as like most other dating apps. I think they've acquired Tinder, which I found confusing before because I'm pretty sure like Facebook owned that for a time. And they own like OkCupid, they own, I'm pretty sure eHarmony, they own like basically every dating app that you've used. So FTC files a petition saying that they're using images of users' faces to train facial recognition software. This is crazy to me. Yeah, this is what I wanted to mention. Doesn't this always make you kind of, I feel like this always brings us back to some pretty early stage internet shenanigans. What I'm thinking of here is well, here's the New York Times page about that, but yeah, I'm thinking of this little social media company that grew out of Face Mash, and this guy, I'm not really pulling off this joke very well, but it's like Mark Zuckerberg made Face Mash as a kind of passive-aggressive, demeaning thing towards his classmates to like rank their attractiveness and stuff. And meanwhile, we have a lawsuit against Match Group, which owns Hinge, about people's faces being used to train facial recognition software. And if any company is going to have like attractiveness data, it's going to be dating apps. Like that, it just seems pretty that seems like a pretty fair assumption to make. And it just seems kind of wild to me that they might be using that data to train AI systems, because it's like, or you're potentially passing on like who's hot and who's not to now just like a supercomputer that's going to only take and like amplify that information and like the power yielded by that information. Anywho, moving on. Yeah, app didn't get proper consent from users to process their biometric information. Oh yeah, and this creepy thing that, yeah, was like putting women in danger. This was the article, I think, that was linked to. Where they're basically talking about, it looked like there was a hack that allowed like a hacker with decent know-how to use OkCupid to basically like find the actual real-time location of women. So potentially, if you know, this probably isn't going to be relevant for that many people who aren't hackers, or actually I shouldn't say that. It seems like a serious problem. Big enough to be on Cyber News and be a serious issue for Match Group, putting people in danger. I'm not sure. You know, I should actually read the article probably before I comment on it. But, okay, so that's some creepy stuff. You can tell I've just been like reading stuff for the last few hours, and I want to get this video done. It's getting dark. It's getting dark. I said I'd put something out today. And I want to dig more into this, but I'm just going through it. It's a little messy right now. Okay. So that's creepy. I was saying before that you could kind of imagine, oh, it's like a hacker here and there could do some creepy stuff if they were like obsessed with a woman or something that they found on one of these apps. But then I started thinking maybe it's probably more serious than that. Again, I haven't read this, but you could imagine someone might start, like, if someone hacked that data, they could, I'm trying to think like how they could kind of sell that to other people to make it a more of a problem at scale. But either way, that's creepy and something that's disappointing about their data management. So, but that's for Match Group and OkCupid specifically. So I guess now here we're saying on to Hinge. So what about Hinge specifically? Hinge is one of their claims to fame is that they have a Nobel Prize winning algorithm. Yeah, that's what they talk about here. And you can see the CEO here. I'm paywalled from reading this article, and I don't really feel like starting a free trial right now. But this is confusing to me that the CEO is saying they don't have an attractiveness score and something about how the free version is sacred. I mean, as a Hinge user, I just feel like I have consistently seen the quality of the free version of the app dropping. And there's actually like a term for this that I learned not too long ago. I wish I could remember right now. But oh, I think it's called enshittification. Yeah, actually, let me look that up. Enshittification. No, I spelled that wrong. Enshittification. Yeah, here we go. The pattern of decreasing quality observed in online services and products such as Amazon, Facebook, Google Search, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. The term was used by writer Cory Doctorow in November 2022. The American Dialect Society selected it as its 2023 Word of the Year. Also used the term platform decay to describe the same concept. And what were they talking about? Did they talk about dating apps? Yeah, the market for dating apps has been cited as an example of enshittification due to the conflict between the dating app's ostensible goal of matchmaking and their operators' desire to convert users to the paid version of the app and retaining them as paying users indefinitely by keeping them single, creating a perverse incentive that leads performance to decline over time as efforts at monetization begin to dominate. Mathematical modeling has suggested that it is in the financial interests of app operators to offer their user base a suboptimal experience. Awesome. Definitely better than I could have summarized, but I remembered enshittification. I'm proud. I should be proud of myself at least for that piece of vocabulary. Okay, not gonna read this, but you know, more reading out there if you're interested. And yeah, more reading if you want to subscribe to Fortune. Ooh, cool. $30 a month. Cool. Okay. Moving on. Yeah, this is worth reading. I'm not going to do that right now. Ooh. Spoiler alert. Okay, so yeah, they talk about like this Nobel Prize winning algorithm. I don't know, it just seems like bullshit hype. Our love scientist. I was actually at a party a friend of a friend hosted, and there was a Hinge engineer there, and he talked to me about, I kind of asked him about Hinge, and he had this line, it felt so canned, like this was what his team, what he'd been like indoctrinated into in the company working there. He was like, what, I'm doing my Bill Clinton thumb, what we want to do is make users go on the best possible first date that they can do. We want people to have great first dates. And I was like, okay, but I was also like, if it's designed to be deleted, shouldn't a first date, like, yeah, maybe that's a decent marker of a good connection with someone, but that doesn't seem like the marker, right? Like, I could see going on a first date that's not great and it being with someone that, like, you end up falling in love with. I don't think, like, a great first date is the target that you should have. And when he said that, it kind of struck me as a good sounding explanation to get away from the reality of this, the perverse incentives of an app like Hinge. Okay, I want to get through this so you can just read it on your own and not have this video be way too long. What next? Yeah, lawsuit claims match groups apps are designed to coerce subscriptions and retain users forever by dangling the possibility of establishing an off-app relationship while implementing features to keep users on the app. Yeesh. That's always a danger when a happy ending is bad for business. Yeah, and I was confused before about why the CEO... I don't even know who the CEO is, really. But I don't know if that's this original CEO from before Hinge was acquired by Match Group, or if it was the CEO now from Match Group. If it's the person now from Match Group, I'm sure they're just lying. If it's an original, like, person who built Hinge saying that, I feel like at best he's being like overly optimistic about how the app continues to work. I don't know. I'm a little bit out of my depth on that. Let's move on. just seeing this though, right? Like, you don't make 10 times more than you did 4 years ago just making people fall in love faster and meet the person of their dreams and deleting your app. Okay. Anywho, the app designed for real people collects a whole bunch of personal information. Yeah, so they can process all your data. This includes your direct messages. They say that they're doing that to protect users, which I'm sure is true to some extent. I think they've done more functionality around, like preventing harassment and, just making sure that that guys aren't sending really disgusting messages to women and, stuff like that. Great, do it. But it also strikes me as very very dishonest and kind of disingenuous to use the reasoning of like, oh, we need to protect users, so we need to process your private messages to people on the app, because potentially that's just getting used to be sold to other companies to create even more manipulative ads to be sent your way, or whatever kind of manipulation other companies want to do to you to control your consumer behavior. Excuse me. Yeah, so they can use your information for showing you ads, of course. That's what all data is going towards these days, it seems. That and like large language models and AI stuff, which again is, just trying to get you to buy more shit, generally. Okay, they may, share your stuff, your data with law enforcement. Apparently they have fairly clear guidelines around that, which Mozilla's like, we like to see, so maybe they're not too bad compared to other companies with that. That seems like also an easier territory to be good, because that, it's like once you're coming up against the violence of the state, companies usually try to avoid confrontation if they can, and if it doesn't really earn them anything. Yeah, they end on a kind of interesting point, which is that since like Match Group owns all these apps, if you were getting tired of Hinge could probably detect that and just sell that data to another app and then kind of offload you onto that app, and maybe have that app represent itself as like a solution to Hinge, and just have this endless cycle of like disappointment and loneliness and hopping from app to app. And yeah, considering that the Match Group has what feels like a monopoly on the online dating market, and I think like earlier in this article they might have said that like 80% of online dating, or 80% of dating is online. That might have been from a different article actually that I'm thinking of that detail. No, never mind. Not gonna find it. Yep. Yep. Oof. I'm tired. Okay, that's all I got. I'm losing it. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye.